So you'd think after a year of this kind of thing being introduced, you'd think it would solve a lot of problems, and in my opinion, they've made a lot and have probably made things a lot worse. So let's just go into this. So hey, it's Harry Husky, and I want to talk about something that has been introduced for roughly about a year now, and it still continues to be quite a problem to this day, and has been ever since it was first introduced. So let me give some background of what it is that I'm talking about, and so you know what exactly is going on. So in 2019, YouTube and Google were fined $170 million for collecting data from children and invading the privacy of children's personal data. So basically there are laws that say you cannot collect data, personal or not, from children, and it is a violation of their privacy, and YouTube were given a hefty fine for it. So they had to introduce something called COPPA, which is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, and YouTube had to put several changes into their system, and users needed to comply with the new rules in order to make the internet a better place for children. But for creators it hasn't been as easy as that. I'm sure most people who have been on YouTube for far too long would already know about this, but for those who aren't and probably don't upload videos, let me just explain what it is that you have to do. So every time you upload a video to YouTube, you have to declare it as either yes, it's made for kids, or no, it's not made for kids. This is usually dependent on who your target audience is, of course, who you have targeted the video towards. So basically it's dependent on who your target audience is, so you have to submit if it's for kids or if it's not for kids, and so on. Then you continue with the rest of your video uploading process. Which sounds easy, right? But it's not as simple as that, because you can make your video as no, it's not made for kids. You can have absolutely no intention of targeting your video towards children, but the FTC can look at you and go, actually, yeah, you do, and you can tell them no. There is no way that this video is made for kids, but the FTC can pick out a single reason why they believe yes, it is made for kids, and they can give you a fine of $41,000 per video. I'm not even making that up. So in shorter terms, you make a video that is in absolutely no way intended for kids, the FTC doesn't see it that way, and they can fine you per video and take away 41k from you. Disgusting. Now, even to this day, this has been a real big problem because of the algorithm that's in place with YouTube. So on some of my other channels, I would actually label my video as no, it's not made for kids. But the algorithm of YouTube sees something in that, maybe from the title or the description, and then I would check back to see that completely out of nowhere, the video has been dubbed, yes, it's made for kids, even though I have selected no, and then just, it's been a mess. Now, the other problem with this algorithm is not just the whole idea of it randomly labeling stuff as made for kids, but so much so of what it has been labeling as made for kids, because there is a lot of stuff on the internet, obviously, that's not made for children, and the algorithm is seeing something in that as, yes, it's made for kids, and it has just been a complete and utter clusterfuck. So here's some examples of what YouTube's algorithm has labelled as made for kids. So we have several clips from Family Guy marked as made for kids. We have Drawn Together, we have The Regular Show, which as far as I'm aware, last time I checked, it was PG-13. John Kay, who, and if you are familiar with the work of John Kay, a lot of his stuff is not made for kids. And this clip from Beastars was also struck by the algorithm. Now, normally I try to keep things clean on this channel, but I just want to show this clip from Beastars, just so you know the nature of the show and what the show sometimes consists of.
さあ、服を脱ぎなさい。自らの意思で服を脱ぎ、自分がいかに高級な食材か私に示すのだ。それともあいつらに無理やり脱がされたいのか。全部だ。流れを止めてはいけない。
Okay, I think you've all seen enough there, as have I. So if we try to get this on the mini player, we can see that the video, for some reason, the algorithm has declared it as made for kids.
What the f***?
And if you have seen Beastars or are vaguely aware of it, you will obviously know it is in no way intended for children. Now, before I get into these next two, there is also something I want to point out of what happens if you do label your video as made for kids. So if you label your video as no, it's not made for kids, then you're perfectly fine. However, if your video is made for kids, then a lot of drastic changes happen to your video and the performance of your channel. Like, a number of things could happen. Your revenue drops down to a fraction of what it used to be. It won't get shown in the recommended. The viewer share may not be as good as, no, it's not made for kids could be. It also does a lot of other things like disabling the comments, also not enabling mini player solely to stop it collecting what children are searching up online, so it doesn't collect data from that. So, bottom line, your videos will not perform as well as a no, it's not made for kids video will. So the first channel I want to bring up is Dr. Wolf 001, who is a My Little Pony analyst, reviewer, and also does dramatic readings of fan fictions by the My Little Pony fan base, which, even though, yes, My Little Pony itself is made for kids, but there are a lot of videos based around it that are in no way targeted for children and will never be targeted for kids. Because even though, yes, the show was made for little girls, but I think if you've been on the internet for far too long enough, you will know that it has reached a much wider fan base.
YouTube has automatically marked so many of my videos as for kids, and I didn't realize. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel, and the vast majority of them are about My Little Pony. So I can understand why certain people would think, oh, this is absolutely made for kids. I mean, look, there's Pinkie Pie in the thumbnail. I looked up the video and I'm like, oh no. There are no comments here. There's no comments at all. I mean, then no one's able to comment. So I go into edit video and mark, no, it's not made for kids, and thankfully all the comments came back. One of my personal favorite videos I've ever made is suddenly feeling restricted. I was going through every one of these videos and marking them as, no, it's not for kids. I wanted the comments to come back. And it was such a tedious process because there was such a long list of videos that were automatically being marked this way. Oh my goodness, it was wearing on me.
Now, there are two other channels I want to talk about, but they do focus on the same subject, and that is Lego. Now, Lego is for kids, and there are a lot of videos on YouTube about Lego that aren't made for kids. This can be either reviews of Lego or some of these stop motion animations. I did actually do quite a lot of them back in my childhood days, but I can't find them anywhere no matter what hard drive I look for them. But oh well, they're probably somewhere out there. Now, these channels are Jangbricks and M&R Productions, both of which were destroyed by YouTube because the algorithm saw something about it made for kids, and things just went downhill from there. But they did manage to solve the issue in the end.
I've talked about the possibility of YouTube deleting a channel entirely if that channel marks too much content as not for kids, and then the YouTube bots or whatever they decide to do for their own compliance decide that, oh, it's actually for kids, so now we're just going to, as they say, take action against it. So I've talked about these things. One thing that I've not made a big deal about at all is the change to ad revenue, the whole thing of turning off personalized ads, the behavior-based ads that are basically made more valuable because of the super creepy data that they collect on people, the exact data that the FTC and COPPA does not and never has allowed to be collected knowingly about kids. YouTube has a little switch where you can turn off personalized ads on your entire channel. And I did that for a few days just to see what the change would be. And it was a significant change, definitely something that I needed to worry about. But it was not the type of thing that was something that would change everything for me.
I went through my last 1,000 videos on YouTube, and there are, I think, 273 of those videos that YouTube flagged as for kids. He flagged my Republic Dropship with ATOT review, which is a set that's for 14 and up, and the for kids thing applies to 12 and under, so that doesn't make sense at all, let alone the fact that the video is not for kids to begin with. The Stranger Things set review was flagged as for kids. Stranger Things set is recommended for ages 16 and up, and Stranger Things as a TV show is definitely not for kids. So now we're on the M&R Builds dashboard homepage here, and you can see it's not doing too hot. I'll even show you how much money it's made. It's not doing too hot. So MNR Builds has seen quite a fall from grace, mostly due to my negligence. I mean, I just don't really upload to it too much, and hopefully the microphone is catching the audio good because it's not at the right angle. But essentially, if you look at my Builds channel and the videos on it, a lot of the more recent ones actually surprisingly didn't get marked. The marking is denoted by this, Made for Kids, set by YouTube. And these are all speed builds that I did relatively recently, like a month ago, 2 months ago. And the thing with those is those are like episode 9, so it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't get marked. But all these other speed builds are marked. You can see all the text there. It means it's marked. Then we go to the second page. A much larger percentage even is marked here. So you can see that it's probably not worth it to do speed builds. I mean, the thing with being marked is you lose comments, you lose end card. I mean, you lose so much if the video is determined to be made for kids. It's a crying shame what YouTube is doing with this. And I know there's also like the part where it's a law, but as far as I'm concerned, the law only pertains to like the advertising. I don't know why they have to go full hog and like take off comments and stuff. I don't know if that's...
Now, even to this day, Made for Kids on YouTube is still a really, really big problem. Now, even though YouTube have cracked down on these, but quite a few years ago there were these really, really dodgy kids videos. Memulus has made quite a few videos about them, so I'd recommend going to watch those videos that he's done because he can explain about them far better than I could. Some of those videos are probably circulating around YouTube nowadays, but other than that, aside from people labelling their videos as, yes, it's made for kids, when really they are not, and also the algorithm doing this as well. Also, the other problem I'm seeing is people who make videos who are in no way targeted at children, like even if it's just in generic footage with no graphics, nothing to attract a child's attention, and even the uploaders themselves, for some reason, are labelling their video as made for kids. This can range from stuff like Family Days Out. I have seen fairground ride videos get labelled as made for kids by their uploader. Any other sort of generic footage that's had no editing, no graphics, nothing, somehow has been labelled as made for kids by their uploader. Don't know what it is that they're seeing in it that I'm not, but from what I'm seeing, they look to be in no way targeted or attracted towards children. And I think even to this day, and going into the future forwards, who knows what problems Made for Kids will still continue to cause for YouTube, as well as the creators. I know that some people have had their ad revenue drop down to a fraction of what they used to be, and a lot of them haven't been able to continue doing YouTube. And the other thing I do want to point out is that no, of course, I will never make videos for kids. I may, in the future, make videos revolving around stuff like radio-controlled toys, doing experimental stuff with them, as well as commenting and reviewing maybe some children's-related stuff, but in no way will they be targeted for children. But also, I could be at risk of the whole Made for Kids situation, because they see a big fluffy animal that stands on 2 legs instead of 4. In the furry YouTube community, I'm seeing a lot of furry YouTubers who could be affected by this because they see big fluffy animal. That might be the only reason why they see it as a Made for Kids video, when in reality, if anyone has seen some furry YouTubers, will know that no, they do not make videos for kids because of the nature of some of them. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the situation, so I'll see you soon and goodbye.